What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Young Moguls podcast, where we keep it real, relatable, and super motivational. It's your girl, Reagan.
And it's your boy, Real MJ Hill. Look, y'all, we have a very special guest for y'all, Vanessa Sam. Y'all, I'm telling you, award-winning motivational speaker, actress, author, talk show host. She does it all, guys. And I'm so excited just to see what she has to bring for y'all today. It's going to be amazing. I know y'all going to get inspired and motivated. So, Vanessa, just to get it started off, just tell us, a little bit about yourself.
So hi everyone, thank you so much for having me on the show today. I'm very, very excited to see how this is going to go. So you can probably hear by my accent that I am based from the UK. I'm based in London, and I've been doing motivational speaking for the past almost 6 years. It will be 6 years this year in April, which is so crazy. I began when I was 9 years old and I'm currently 15 years old. And I just do a bit of everything, to be honest. It's not really a great way to describe everything that I do, but it's a whole lot of public speaking and social media is the best way to put it.
Most definitely. So I know you got a lot of different industries you're in, right? But say for motivational speaking, for instance, what's one thing that you wish you knew, before you got into motivational speaking?
That's a really, really good question. I don't think I've ever actually been asked that before. I think in the beginning of like my journey of being a speaker, I think it was so much about, because social media wasn't as much of like a business tool back then. It was more just something people had to show what they're doing at the moment. Mm-hmm. So my way of showing people, getting my name out there, was just going to events. So every time we'd hear about an event, we'd be going to events like every single weekend, and it was just so full on. So I think something I wish I knew before I began speaking was just to prioritize what events to do and not to do, because it's great to get as much knowledge as you can, and if you have the time and energy to do that, then go for it and go to every event. Bring your notebook and get your notes down and learn and just get your knowledge. But after a while, it does drain your energy out, and you need to kind of prioritize where you're spending your time wisely. So I probably say that. And also just trying to be as authentic as possible, and just understanding that people come into a journey to teach you something, whether they stay there for a long time or they leave quickly, whatever it is, always try and learn the lesson out of something.
Yeah, I absolutely love that, being authentic with what you're going in and what you're doing at the moment, because honestly, like you said, you get tired and drained out if it's not something that you absolutely love to do and comes from a place of genuinity and a place of, this is my passion and this is my desire and urge of what I have a desire to do, and I'm excited for it. Because sometimes, a lot of the times, it does get hard until you finally start seeing some success. It's a long journey. It really is. It's a long journey of obstacles. But if it's something that you're truly passionate about, you're going to stick to it. So you have to find that thing that you're passionate about, and not just do what everybody else is doing or just do something because you think it's cool, but doing it because you genuinely love to do it. So I love that. I love that so much. But I did want to ask you, since you are in so many industries, I mean, you've covered a lot of bases, and I just think it's absolutely amazing. But what got you started in the first place? Like, was it motivational speaking? Was it traveling? What was it that initiated it?
Well, I realized I wanted to be a motivational speaker when I said before I was 9. And we attended an inspirational event, seminar, whatever you want to call it. And we went to this event, and one of the speakers who was there at the time, I was following on social media. So I was kind of seeing him as a celebrity in my eyes. And before all of this, I didn't even know how to pronounce entrepreneur, or I didn't even know what being a motivational speaker meant or what that was. So when I kind of started watching his videos with my mum, I kind of had a deeper understanding of what it meant. So when I first met him at that event, it was just like this total like fangirl moment, I guess you could say. And then when he was going to do his speech, he was like, Vanessa, you should come on stage with me. And me being 9 years old, I was like, maybe I'll pass the opportunity. But I ended up putting together my courage and being like, no one's asked me to do a TED Talk, right? No one's asking me to speak up there for an hour and have a whole presentation planned out. So I'm just going to stand up there, say something, and quickly get off as fast as I can. So I ended up going on stage, probably said some words along the lines of dreams come true, believe in yourself, those kind of phrases, because it didn't mean much to me at the time. it was just something I'd been hearing in my surroundings because my mum had really began her self-development journey. So I really kind of knew a bit about the law of attraction, etc. So I kind of had a little bit of understanding of what I was saying, but definitely not completely. So when I came off stage, I was like, that went so badly. But then people were telling me that it helped them. So I was like, okay, this could be my way of helping people because I wanted to help people. I knew I couldn't be a doctor because I didn't have the passion for that or the skill for that. So I was trying to find a way that I could help other people. And then speaking came along. So a way to use my voice and have the freedom to do so. So it was just kind of like this dream job to me when I was 9. And then from there, my social media began and it all just kind of started from that point.
Wow. That's
really inspiring.
Yeah, that's an amazing story. Like I actually have a similar story. They're kind of two different stories, but they coincide a little bit. When I was younger, I didn't know that I wanted to be a motivational speaker either. Like I had just written my book because of an opportunity I received from a church convention, and it was Think Right, Believe and Achieve, Vision Collision. And a school nearby had asked me to come speak and give a presentation. I'm like, okay, this is not usually what I do, but sure. And so I had like a stack of papers and everything. It was so embarrassing. But like, to just a tad bit. I'm glad I went through that because if I didn't, I would not be where I am. But back to where I was. It was embarrassing, but I got through it. And the kids came up to me afterwards and they were like, I want to be an author too. I'm actually started writing my book and I want to publish it now. I want to be an artist. I want to be an astronaut. And these little kids in 5th grade just had so many dreams and you could just see how full of life they were. And to know that I had that impact 15 minutes before, like I had even met them, that 15 minutes was just so inspiring to me. And I realized, my dog's in the back, sorry. I realized something that I absolutely love doing and something that brought me so much joy to be able to help people and to grow with them because I'm on this journey as well. And so like I said, I have a similar story to what you said. I got the opportunity to speak on a stage with Lisa Nichols. She had pulled me up on stage and I got to use the techniques and the tools that she had taught me. And once again, that was kind of scary, but it helped me develop into the person that I am today. So all of these things that happened in the past, I think they're vital to help us accomplishing our dreams and goals.
Absolutely, yeah.
Our dreams a reality. And you see where I am today, you see where Vanessa is today, you see where Marquise is today, and we would not be where we are if it wasn't for those very, very embarrassing moments because I have many of those, but I'm so grateful for that. And your story is so inspiring. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. And I think yours.
And I think the coolest thing about it is I think for all motivational speakers, one thing that stops them or limits them when they first begin is just that confidence part. And I think once you get over, that confidence part, once you get over, that kind of self-doubt, I feel like speaking, it becomes so much more fun and you connect with, your audience and whoever you're speaking to. And Vanessa, I actually wanted to ask you about that because this is something that I'm even still working on. Although I've kind of overcame the fear of like speaking, I'm still working on building that confidence up. What are like your ways that, you build your confidence and when you step up on stage, you just go up there and do your thing?
I think it was a long process to finding what helped me like speak from the heart when I was first doing speeches, because I feel like when you look up on Google and it's like, how do you become a good public speaker? How do you overcome stage fear? And it kind of tells you, write out a speech and then learn it. And then for me, when I would write out speeches, I would be trying to remember everything that I wrote on my computer instead of just speaking in the moment.
Right.
What I just ended up doing was writing bullet points. Okay, these are the 3 things I want to talk about. These are my 3 aims for my speech. And then when you remember those points, just speak whatever comes to your mind when you think of that point. And I think that just makes your stage presence so much more real because you're thinking on top of your head. And it's a bit like a blackout, because I'd usually come on stage and they'd be like, oh, that was amazing. And I'm like, okay, but I kind of don't even know what I just said. I just it just goes like completely out. So then when you watch back your speeches, it's like, oh, okay, I kind of remember that, but it's almost like a blur after you come out. And I think that's when you really realize that you've been there in the present moment, and it's just, you're not thinking about it, it's just coming out of you. But in terms of confidence, I really think it is a lot of practice, but the most you can do is give out your resources and give out your knowledge, and it is the audience's decision or a person's decision if they want to take that on or not. So despite what they think of you, or despite if they want to be helped or not, as long as you're doing your part, is really what all that matters. And most of the time it really does go that far, as Enrique was saying, like all those little kids telling her, oh, I want to be an author as well. You really never realize how much of an impact some words can say. So just imagine how many speeches you can do. So I think it's just about thinking about the impact of the audience and how far that's going to go. And that, I think, overcomes all the nerves and fears.
Yeah. I think that's how you know if it's authentic too and genuine and something that you really love to do. If it's just something that comes out of you, like, yes, you do have to learn about it. You do have to get some more information, because all of us were super young when we started. So, you know, we don't just know things, but speaking from the heart, like if it's something that you love to do, it's something that's authentic and genuine, and it should come out easily. Now, if it's something that you're forcing or trying to memorize, which is what I was doing in the beginning, it's not going to come out as easy, and it's not going to come across as easily. If people aren't going to receive it as easy, because it's not something that's being authentic or genuine. So I love that. I did want to ask you though, Vanessa, what was one of your biggest failures, or let's say learning experiences, when it comes to being in all the fields that you're in?
Ooh, can I just pick one? I mean, I think I kind of touched on it a little bit before with going to so many events. And I think just that whole idea of burnout, I think I can sort of apply to everything. Social media, speaking, events, presenting, whatever it is. I think burnout just happens in any career setting that you're in. You might not be a motivational speaker, but I can guarantee you that at some point in whatever thing you want to do, there's obviously that potential of being burnt out. And if you haven't heard of the phrase being burnt out before, for those who are watching or listening, it's kind of like you work yourself so hard to the point where you just have no more energy anymore and no kind of drive to continue what you're doing. I think my biggest challenge, I think a few years back, I took a big break off of YouTube. And I'll be posting consistently a lot. Like I think I have over 1,000 videos on my channel, and that is a lot over, well, if you think about it, over 6 years, it's not a lot, but when you look at it, it's a lot.
It's a lot of videos.
It's a lot of content, and it's a lot of dedication. And at some point, I was so fixated on my channel growing, and everybody kept telling me, if you post daily videos, you will see your channel skyrocket. And I was like, okay, let's start doing this. So I was posting videos every day, and I'd be stressing myself out. I'd be like, okay, I filmed this, but I need to edit it like today so that it comes out tomorrow. I wasn't organizing it. It wasn't planning ahead. Like, I don't know, there's a certain name for it when you film a video one day, or you film a bunch of videos in one day. There's some sort of phrase for it, or like just cutting it up and spreading it out so that you're not focusing on the video that you just filmed coming out tomorrow. So I would be making daily videos, I think maybe hardcore 3 months. And then it just got to a point where I was exhausted. And that's natural. We're all humans at the end of the day. Nobody's going to be happily at some point editing all their videos, and that there's some sort of energy that's going to be lost, right? And at that certain point, you just lose all of it. So I was like, okay, this is my burnout. This is what it is, because it was just no drive. After a certain point, you have no ideas. You don't have any urge to do editing or filming. There's just nothing there that makes you want to get up in the morning and do something productive. So I took a big break off of YouTube to rethink, take a kind of break for my mental health as well. So I really think from that experience, I realized, okay, as much as you might want to work as much as you want, but take that priority to look after your mental health. Say, okay, I'm going to be really productive today, but give yourself an amount of hours that you're going to be working in, and the rest of those hours that you're not going to be working, read, or I don't know, do art, or find some sort of outlet that's going to relax you. Because if you're working hardcore 24 hours 7 days a week, it's not healthy, and there's no time for you to focus on you. So I think that's in general is just a really important thing to take on, because I think we become workaholics at some point in our careers, and then it doesn't get the best of us in the end.
Yeah, I agree with that so much, because that's one thing that I really experienced, like posting my videos. I remember when I first started on TikTok, right? I posted videos so much, like every day I'm putting out one, and eventually like it kind of blew up, right? And then from that point, I was just so focused on, man, I have to keep growing, I have to keep posting videos, I have to keep this up. And just like Vanessa said, like I burned out, and it was just like that drive, that love that I had for speaking. It was like going down, like bit by bit, and I was like, yo, you gotta take a break, refocus, relax, like, and then you go back into it. Because if you focus so hard on just on not really even your work anymore, but just trying to catch up with everybody and post daily, you're going to really burn yourself out, and you're not going to want to do it anymore. So it's huge to take those mental breaks and to really focus on your mental health. And another thing I wanted to ask you, because I saw that you were into acting too, an actress. So how was that? Like, how did you get into acting? Because I know speaking, acting, like, just kind of using your inspiration to go into so many different industries. Like, how did you get into acting?
I think over the years, I just found I just had a passion for cameras.
Yeah.
So whether it was like behind the camera or in front of the camera, whether I was doing speaking, filming a video, interviews, red carpets, whatever it was, you put a camera in front of me, I'll enjoy it. So then acting kind of came along. And I think from a really young age, I always was very dramatic. I went to theatre school when I was much younger. I did drama. I'm doing drama now as my GCSE. I don't know what the equivalent is on the other side, but that's what I'm kind of studying at the moment as well. So I always was, I think, working towards being an actress. I just didn't know it at the time. And I think I'm a massive film geek, I guess you could say. I literally have a film. Every single film I watch, I don't even, like, you kind of lose sight of the story, because I'm looking at the visuals, I'm looking at the acting, I'm looking at the setting, the costume. It's just a whole different thing that somehow I've become so like fixated on over the years. But I think my love for film really made me want to become an actress. So then I kind of started doing auditions and self-tapes, etc. And then eventually Step Back came along, which is the short film I was in. It came out last year. No, not last year. Yes, last year, 2021. It's 2 years, very confusing. Came out 2021 in February, so it's going to be almost a year soon. And then it came out, it's almost got 2 million, well, it is at 2 million views now. And it was my first kind of big short film. So that was a really amazing experience. And it was kind of like my first experience being an actress on set for a week. I was so excited. So I think that was my first sort of taster into what it could be like. And seeing, not even just being on camera, but seeing all the behind the scenes that goes into making the production is so fascinating. And there's so much recognition that is there that should be recognized. Recognition that should be recognized. It doesn't really make sense, but you know what I'm trying to say. So I think there should be a lot of attention drawn to that. So I think just my love for film and productions just came along with acting as well.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. Now, with filming, I did want to ask you one more question. With it being 2022, how do you, like, what goals do you have, or how do you see yourself expanding with acting or motivational speaking or being behind cameras or in front of cameras? Like, what are your big goals for this year?
Is it bad that I was too focused on work that I wasn't even focusing on the new year? I mean, I was watching all these videos, people going 2022 reset challenge, and it just went over my head. I think when the new year comes, there's some sort of like processing in like the first few weeks. To kind of understand, okay, I need to start writing 2022 in my school books. I need to start understanding like it's a fresh start. But I think my goals for this year is to just be more mindful. I'm trying to get back into healthy habits and productivity, like a lot more stuff that doesn't require my phone. So I'm challenging myself to read a book once a month. I'm challenging myself to continue with art instead of picking up my phone. So just different outlets that will make me more mindful and will release stress, whatever it is. In terms of speaking, I haven't actually spoken on a public physical stage since 2020, like March 2020, so the prime of lockdown. So I would really, hopefully this year will be the year where I can speak in front of an audience, because it's been so long. Because I was doing my reflection for 2021 and I was looking through the months, and I was like,
Yeah.
I haven't actually done a proper speaking engagement this year. I've only done virtual stuff, and I thought that
Right.
2021 would be that I'd be doing that. So maybe this year will be the time. But it was great because last year events started to get back up again. But honestly, it's just kind of go with the flow with me sometimes. Sometimes I have a straight vision, and sometimes it's like, let's just eyeball it and see how it goes along.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, oh my gosh, you don't understand how much I miss speaking. Like all of my stuff has
Facts.
been virtual as well. I actually have an event later on today. It's virtual. We were discussing maybe doing in person, but then they ended up deciding doing virtual. But like,
Yeah.
I'm so excited. The first opportunity I get, I really want to go, because speaking on stage in front of people and just being in the same room with people, it's just a different level than it is on virtual.
There's that connection there, that face-to-face connection.
Yeah.
Miss it so much.
Like being able to actually hear people's voices and just to be in the same atmosphere. I'm like, okay, virtual is okay for now. Like I do realize what's going on in the world, but at some point, like I really do want to get back to it, because it is
counting down the days.
I know, really, I am. Like first opportunity, I'm ready to get going.
Thanks. Yo, I was actually really excited because in Georgia, they're a lot more lenient with like kind of the COVID and the, you know what I'm saying, with like in person and stuff like that. So I actually was really blessed to be able to go speak at this elementary school. Yo, it was so freaking amazing. Like I gotta post the video. Like the video is so dope. Just all these kids, just, you know what I'm saying? We just talking, they're telling me about their dreams, all that. It was just like that vibe. I ain't had it in such a long time. It was amazing. And I just think, man, I don't know if things will ever go back to what they used to be. And I mean, I'm cool with that. You know, I'm at a place where like, you know, I'm kind of at ease with that and understanding of it. But man, I hope that we can start getting a little more in person action, because I'm telling you, it's a whole other feeling for sure.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. Like, well, we just want to thank you so much, Vanessa, for coming on.
Yeah.
This has been absolutely amazing. I feel like we've been able to connect with you on a different level now, and we know more about you.
Yeah.
Where can our audience members find you?
We gotta ask that question first, Reagan. We can't forget the question.
Oh, okay. Okay. The question is, how are you a young mogul? Or like, what's your one key to being a young mogul?
I think there's always a really big sense of responsibility on my shoulders, because I've obviously had the opportunity to, or I've been fortunate enough to have a platform, and there could be so many other people in the world who are doing exactly the same thing that we are, but they haven't got the platform to do it. They haven't been recognized yet. Right. So with that comes with a lot of responsibility. So whenever I hear an issue, I feel the need to speak up on that, because some people can't. So I think it's just, I'm always like tracing what I'm doing, because I'm like, I wouldn't want this to set the wrong example for someone. So it's always just trying to think about that extra step. And I think it's always just telling people that you are a real person, that you are human, and just being relatable with people. Because I think before I was always like positivity, happiness, joy, everything. And then at some point it kind of doesn't become 100% genuine, right? Because I'm preaching all the happy days, but we all have bad days as well. So it comes to that point when you have to talk about both sides of your mental health and your emotions, so that you can really connect with your audience on that level. So I think that's what it kind of means to me, and that hopefully kind of answers the question.
Yeah.
No, that answers it for sure. I think that's one thing that a lot of people who want a lot of influence, like a lot of people who want, you know, just to be great, you know, is the main thing is to always remember that you're a human being. Like you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have your whole life figured out. You know, I'm huge on positivity, having a positive perspective. But I also speak on, yes, there are things that go wrong in the world. There are things that go wrong in life. So don't think that you have to, you know, just continue on like nothing's happened. Like we were talking about earlier, make sure you're taking your breaks. Make sure you're giving yourself time to just relax, to refocus, you know, to really take care of yourself. And I think that's huge. Like really just understanding that it's okay to not be okay. We're all human. We all go through our own struggles. So yeah, that's huge, Vanessa. You definitely answered the question.
Yeah, thank you so very much. I absolutely love the point that you touched on. I think you guys have got it covered. That was beautiful. But
For real.
back to the question before, just the last question. Where can our audience members find you?
So you can find me on all social medias. It is at Inspiring Vanessa. And yeah, you can just type up Inspiring Vanessa onto Google and all the socials will come up. And you can find more about me on my website, which is inspiringvanessa.com.
For sure. Y'all, we'll have all those links in the description. Y'all already know. Vanessa, thank you so much for joining us today. It was amazing. It was truly a blessing. But yeah, y'all, we'll have all of Vanessa's links in the description so y'all can make sure to find her. Y'all can watch all her videos, subscribe to the YouTube, all that good stuff. But again, thank y'all so much, Young Moguls. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Thank you.